extremely humbled and honored to be considered to be a jury member for the Festival of Media Awards. The format is, in my memory, one of the finest awards ever. You guys have always been ahead of the curve in the kind of questions and categories that you include. And I think that was a big motivation for me. I've also been one of the lucky recipients of the awards on the other side. So really, this was an extremely humbling moment for all of it to come together for me. And I'm extremely delighted to be here. The first thing I'll be looking for will be audience-backed insights. I want to see how people have used across strategy, gaming, and every other piece of work that they've done. How have they used the audience insight to solve the problem that they had? Has they been completely backed well by data, or was it a lot of just arbit thinking? Because that's something that stands out when you start writing your entries. So I'm not really going to look for creative writing. That's a clear no in my book. But the audience-backed insights, and was it an audience-first way of looking at it, is my first call out that I'm going to look for. The other thing that I'm going to look for also is going to be a mixture of creativity and how do they think about the problem. So I think my two call outs are going to be creativity and audience-backed insights, really. A couple of them really stood out for me. One was a campaign that I think was from Mediacom Singapore. It was by this VS series, which was on mental health, women mental health. It was done in a beautiful way where they came about talking about mental health in a very movie and a film sort of a background. I loved the campaign. I loved the treatment of the campaign, the way they sorted that problem. So that was one that really stood out. A few of the Apple ones also in my memory have been very, very good. The last one that I would like to mention, and I'm probably going to repeat this in my next question too, was the Nike outdoor in Japan. That was done in March. It was a complete game changer. And I think following that, a lot of people have just used that format to showcase what outdoor can really do. So using the strength of the medium was one thing that worked for all of these three campaigns. And yeah, that's just the reason why they're my favorite campaigns this year. It is going to be the Nike Japan outdoor. Fabulously executed, so well done, made sure the medium was the message and just blew people's hats off. I think that's what you're looking from a media campaign, that it lets people actually sit up and take notice. And that campaign didn't even need words. It was done for the Air Max. And oh my God, it was just this outdoor that blew out of proportion and was, I think, viral in less than 20 minutes. Wow. That has been my favorite campaign so far. One of the trends that most of the campaigns that I've seen this year is this whole optimism or trying to show you the beauty even in the somberness of things. Or how can you, like the message at the end of it or the moral at the end of it has this certain quality of joyfulness around it. And that I think has been one of the trends that really I think is coming out in a lot of campaigns, where even if they have a bad message to deliver, they've done it in such a beautiful way that it leaves you feeling really happy with everything that they've said or not said in the campaign for you. I think that's one trend that will stick out. The other thing that I have really noticed that's being done beautifully by a lot of people, or they've really considered this, is to see the impact of what they're saying on people. So there's a lot of measurement. People are talking a lot about how this impacted the message or the product that they were talking about. So the means to the end is the other piece, I think, which will be something that will be up and running in the next few years. And obviously trying new things and being open to new ideas, like gaming as a trend, or using gaming or anime, which was just focused on Japan at one point, thanks to Roblox, Epic Games, or even Metaverse for us, is something that's coming out in the open, and people are finding these amazing ways to pass this message on to people. That I think is going to be something that for consumers is going to be critical for us too. I'm not a big believer of awards, or haven't been in all my life. I used to be very, very concerned about the kind of award, the quality of awards. But names like yours, Festival of Media Awards, is one of those awards where you know the jury is fair, where you know that the recognition is honest and true, and it's not something that's going to be a back of the envelope conversation. it's also a chance to showcase the kind of work that you're doing, and it gives the youngsters an opportunity to come out and showcase their skills. Most of the time, as agency partners, or even when we were at the agency, you entered awards for the younger generation in your team to feel motivated with what work, the kind of work you're doing. I think the award that is Festival of Media is not just for the industry, it's also for the advertisers. It's also for telling the consumer that, hey, here we are, here's the good work we're doing, and getting more and more people motivated to do better work next year.